Howdy, folks. I'm Mark, and today I am joined by Jordan Leithart of LuxCore Studios. Jordan, thank you for joining me for this short talk about video games.
It's my pleasure.
Absolutely. And you're listening to Quick Play, so let's get right into it. So Jordan was on a while back to talk about his first game as a solo dev, Oracle of Melees. Did I say it right?
Correct.
Correct. Perfect. Okay. Where we also... in that, we had a few episodes. We talked about Oracle Melees coming out. We talked about AI in video games, which is somehow even more present at this point, and still one of my most favorite episodes we've done. So Oracle Melees was actually released, as of the episode going live, released a year ago on this day, which is January 21st, 2025. You did have a great episode with the Backlog Breakdown guys when it was released, and I highly recommend checking back on that one if you haven't. But I've been thinking about this topic for a while, and I kind of want to know, what is your relationship to your game, kind of once it's been out for a while? So it's now it's been out for a year. What do you think of Oracle of Melees? What do you do with it now?
I'm probably the worst person to ask about this, honestly, because I'm a big fan of pre-internet gaming, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I some of my favorite games are post-internet games, but the ones where it's there aren't a lot of patches coming out. So it's
sure.
What you get is what's there. So for the first, I think 2 or 3 weeks, I did a bunch of bug fixing and stuff like that. And since then, I've just kind of left it, to be honest.
Sure.
In some aspects, it was a monumental failure. I did not make any money on it.
Gotcha.
And so it's in that aspect, from a business, especially from a business perspective, it was a terrible life decision.
Got it. Was that surprising, or is that okay? That was kind of what you expected going in.
Yeah.
Sort of. Okay.
Yeah. Especially the further I got into it, around October, so about 3 months before it was released, I sent it off to a friend of mine in the industry, and he just ripped it to shreds.
Okay.
And I was I remember sitting there looking at it and be like, well, are we allowed to swear on this podcast, or you bleep it?
Actually, I'll probably bleep it, but it'll be pretty funny if you do.
Well, I was and I remember sitting there, just literally feeling like any wind in my sails had been completely removed. But the next 3 months was basically spent, it was I need to just get this out the door so I can actually say I did something. That was the whole goal for the last 3 months.
Yeah. Totally.
And I don't know if we talked right around that time, but I had my nephew and his family come over for Christmas.
Okay.
And I had just gotten it working on the Steam Deck. And so I was here you go, and just handed it into Steam Deck, see if you can beat it.
Yeah.
And he played it for 12 hours over that week.
Holy cow.
And I was oh.
That's affirming.
It's not horrible. And so I knew it was it wasn't going to, go gangbusters. Sure. I sold it for I think $4 a copy when it first came out. Yeah. And was just honestly expecting 5 people to buy it.
Sure.
And way exceeded the expectations on that. Nice. There's a statistic I've seen recently, which was 90% of games on Steam don't make that $100 back that you need to get, that you need to put on, because it costs $100 to put it on Steam.
Sure. Okay.
And something like 80 or 90% don't make that back. And I did. And I was
that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, and so there's a lot of affirmation there because validation, I guess, is I do understand, at least in part, that fun. I'm not good marketing. I did a terrible job with the art direction. There's a lot of jank and bugs and stuff like that, but it's still kind of fun.
Sure.
And so I'm okay, it's not, because as you're making your game, I don't know if you've written papers for school or anything like that,
sure.
Something you're really excited about potentially, and you read it and you read it and you read it and you're this, everything is awful. Every comma is you're trying to figure out the best, squeeze everything you can out of it. And I think I have 120, 150 hours in the game from playtesting.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I was like, I couldn't see that it could actually be, you know, a not a great game, but, you know, a solid C+.
Sure.
And so I'm very happy about that. But, you know, I haven't touched it since February last year.
Sure.
I don't think I've even looked at the sales since then. I've just been like,
gotcha.
You know,
it's out there.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Has LuxCore on it.
Yeah.
I made it. I did it. You know, I used an artist as a contractor, but I basically made it by myself, and it's not bad.
Yeah. It's something that you can be proud of. That's like, you did it. And that's like, this sounds dismissive, like that's the best you could hope for, but it's like, that's in some ways, like that's the best you could hope for. Like that is something that's significant and you should be proud of. That's really cool that you've been able to do that. I know you've been hard at work on the next one too, and I want to get there as well. But you haven't really even like checked the stats on Steam. Is there anything more to do? Like once a game's on Steam, like do you have to renew it, or is it?
Nope, it's there permanently. It'll be there. I could remove it.
Sure,
that's allowed. I mean, I think Anthem just is shutting down either today or tomorrow.
Right.
So that would be allowed, but basically I can go in there and I can adjust, you know, pricing for summer sales or something like that.
Sure.
But I can't be bothered.
I mean, is that something that you decide to do?
I decide.
Like, okay. Is that true across the board where it's
I think so.
Publishers decide that?
Publishers would. Generally, like, you would have like a publisher, how do you put this? Like a publisher org that would be in charge of all your Steam settings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So most like I've been playing a lot of BallXPit recently.
Yeah.
And I think they're published by Devolver. And so I'm sure Devolver is in charge of like, this is how much it should be priced. This is all this thing. This is the marketing. We're going to push marketing a little bit for, you know, the Steam Spring Sale or something like that. I think a new patch is coming out. So you can easily add things and adjust it and try and gain some momentum. But for the most part, yeah, I'm like, okay, it's there. I made it.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's $5. Which, speaking of $5, did you see? There's a quote from the Peak developers about $8 is $5.
Yes, I saw that.
Now that I've mentioned, I got to find it. I'll find it somewhere and ask this next question. But so I want to say too, like you mentioned, you made like this, you made your $100 back at least. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Like, do you get other stats about the player base of kind of like who's playing or demographics?
Yeah, you can go on Steam charts or SteamDB and figure out that. I think.
Oh, like we all could.
Yeah, you all could.
Nice.
There's been some controversies about that recently, the last 6 months to a year, because publishers don't like seeing like the big names don't like seeing people not playing their game, and other people seeing, like, you know, the whole dead game meme gets passed around a lot.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of push on Steam to try and get that off and not publicly available. But yeah, so I haven't looked at it. I think I looked at it in May last year when I was like, oh, hey, someone played it this month kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But
it's still fun. That's like to see the legs on it.
Yeah.
Even at a small scale. I did find that quote where this is for everyone else listening now at this point. Peak was big viral indie hit of the year. Started at $5, and then once it kind of got momentum, they raised the price to $8. And that came from a discussion where this is a quote from an interview. It says, in a player's mind, what does it mean to spend $5? Well, that's $5. But $6, that's still $5. $4 is also kind of $5. $3 is $2, and $2 is basically free. So you've got these tiers, you know, $12, that's $10. But $13 is $15. And we found that $8 is still $5. It doesn't become $10. $7.99, that's $5, right? So $8 going to $5 is the biggest differential we could find in pricing. So we found it very optimal.
Yep.
So that's indie game pricing for you in a nutshell.
Basically.
And economics, capitalistic economics in the free market.
I did have some friends in a Discord I was hanging out in. I was like, hey, I'm releasing a game, and they're like, how much is it? I was like, yeah, I'm charging $4 for the first 2 weeks. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll definitely buy it then.
Yeah.
So
I bought it.
I appreciate everybody that's that's spent some money on it. I hope y'all had fun. Yeah.
So now, like, any other, like, that sounds like the answer is kind of, you just really haven't really thought about it much at all. Like,
well,
but,
I mean, kind of. There's an aspect of, I'm a very introspective person and hypercritical of myself.
sure.
And so there's a lot of like, there's a lot of could have done better. And so I'm very aware of things I could have done better, things I messed up with learning a new engine with Godot, and stuff like that, if I tried to make the same game now or immediately had started into another game just like it in Godot, I probably could have gotten out in 6 months. And so, and then there's also like the like art style and art direction that I am not good at. And then, there's a lot of things I learned from it that I'm happy to have learned that have made me better at my job. But for the most part, I have been like, yep, that is something I tried, something it didn't work. Well, it didn't work financially.
Worked in other ways, but like, yeah. Are you still using Godot?
No.
Okay. Have you gone back to a more familiar engine for the next game, or?
Yeah, so I guess it's a good time to go into the next game, but it's it's also a sad story.
Okay. Yes, let's get into it.
Yeah, so like a week after I released and I was working on this, I reached out to a friend of mine here locally that was going to the same church, who had just been laid off from his job at an interactive design studio. And he had been trained. I think he'd majored in like 3D art in school, and had been working in some 3D art, but like browser based games. So there was like very low poly kind of style. And I reached out and was like, hey, like, I'll pay your salary for 6 months. Let's see if we can make something that'll gain some momentum.
Yeah.
So we started working on a game called Faros. Which does have a Steam page. So we have paid the $100.
Nice.
Excuse me. But the idea of that one, we were trying to figure out, it was going to be a 3D action adventure inspired by Tunic and Legend of Zelda. So it was going to be puzzle oriented, environmental puzzles. The big kind of unique selling point we had was that, the setting of the game was you're going to walk into an island that was like Smearensburg from Klaus. I don't know if you've seen Klaus.
That sounds familiar. I haven't seen it though.
It's the Netflix Christmas movie, which is one of the better Christmas movies that came out.
I have heard of that.
Okay. But basically it's like, come in there, all the townsfolk are fighting. It's very dark and gray and stuff like that. And it's a place you don't want to be. Mm-hmm. And as you explore, you're going to find out that it wasn't always this way, and that basically you need to go and light the beacons to bring back joy and color and peace to this island. Yeah. And there's going to be some, like, so you would go, and as you were lighting these beacons, the town would change and people's demeanor would change, and they would become more joyful. And your interactions with them would change. And so it's kind of like this two alternate worlds kind of thing that you were affecting the world as you were going through.
Yeah.
So we did that for 6 months, starting in February or March. And 6 months, we tried to find funding. We couldn't find it. I couldn't afford to pay him anymore because I needed a paycheck.
Sure.
And so, that's on hiatus for the time being.
Oh, man.
Since August. We had a moment. There's this indie org, I guess, called Blue Ocean Games.
Okay.
That was trying to connect indie games with potential investors, and they put together this Rising Tide Challenge, is what they called it, back in May last year. So we scrambled and threw together a trailer, and we placed 88th out of 1,100.
Oh wow!
And so we're like, oh okay, yeah. Top 10 would have gotten talks with investors.
Gotcha.
And so we're like, okay, there's
something here.
Yeah, there's something here. And so we work on it, get to the end of August, or beginning of August, and we're sending off to a bunch of publishers trying to get with people, can't find anybody interested. and then they do a second Rising Tide challenge. And so we submitted, and then we placed 87th out of 440. And I thought our trailer was so much better. And I was like, I don't understand this. And then I got super disheartened with the disenfranchised, disheartened, both of them, with like indie players. Because one of the top 10 games that won that people voted on was Worm in an Office, where you're a worm that goes around computers and does menial office tasks.
Gotcha.
And I was like, what are we doing?
What are we doing here?
Why? Why did this win? And so I was like, I guess I don't understand marketing. I don't understand indie games, indie gamers.
Like, what do you want? Like, this is the Notebook, where it's like Ryan Gosling. Like, what do you want from me? I don't know.
I know, this is what it felt like. Like we're trying to do something inspiring, and we knew it was going to, we were estimating it would take another 3 years to finish the game. Mm-hmm. And that like we were just above, like, salaries and stuff like that. We would have been at, $500,000.
Gotcha.
And so it's like we're above what like a Devolver wants to pay for an indie game, or Chucklefish or something like that. But we're way, 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 way below any AAA company.
Sure.
And so it's like we're in this weird spot of like just a little too expensive for indie, not quite expensive and grandiose enough for AAA or AA. And so it's like got stuck. I ended up, so to pay for his salary, I was working part-time for InXile Entertainment. And so now I'm back full-time at InXile Entertainment working on Clockwork. Okay. So
sure,
it's nice to make money again.
Yeah, sure. That's the benefit. Yeah. Oh man, that is a sad story. Is there like, this is kind of on hiatus is the word you use. Is there kind of hope for the future of like, you can come back to it, or?
I mean, I have all of the, what's it called? All of the assets. It's in Perforce. I can literally go, or version control, so I can go and grab it anytime I want and like mess around with it. I just haven't had time because InXile's put my nose to the grindstone.
Sure. Yes. Clockwork is due out this year, right? Or can you say? I don't know. Okay. I thought I saw there was like a 2026 release date, but
was there?
I don't remember. I feel like they started. I remember talking about it. I remember I had seen like the original trailers, and then there was another trailer that came out more recently, and I thought there was a date attached to that, but I might be making that up.
I did post a link to the second trailer that we made that I was very proud of, but you're welcome to watch that if you want. But we don't have to take any more time. That's Faros.
Perfect. I'll throw this in the description too for anyone who wants to see it.
I think it's sweet.
I don't know if I can find you funding, but
no, that's
maybe
right.
There's some connection there. Man, that is a bummer. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Yeah.
No, it's one of those things where it's like you have to learn from like where'd you mess up, right?
Sure.
And so it's like a couple of things with it is like we could have done better if I had been like, we'd had a more clear like direction from the get-go. Being like, this is where we're going, because we're a little bit fumbly at the beginning. Sure. And then another thing is like, I think if we had been in the same office working together, it would have been a little bit easier. Like when remote work is great. I work remote. I'm very appreciative that I get to. There's nothing that beats like being in the same room collaborating.
Sure, totally. I am like that way too. I agree with all that whole sentiment of remote work's great. Office is better. Well, man, do you have like kind of do you have like any more in a year plan, 5-year plan? Is it kind of in exile for now? And which that's a funny phrase, but are you stuck in exile for the time being, or kind of what's your?
Yeah, I don't have any real plans to do anything right now. The focus is maximize earning potential.
Sure.
to hopefully 5-10 years to have enough to try it again.
Yeah.
I still have my dream of making, I don't know if I told you this, I think I did when we first met for coffee. Mm-hmm. But I still have my dream of making a 7-game series like that follows the stories of the Bible, but you're playing other characters that are just like I still have that in my head, that would be sweet.
It's a cool
But,
idea. I like it.
Yeah, we'll
So,
see.
Luxcore is not dead. It is merely asleep.
It's gone in hibernation.
Taking a little snoozle town. Well, Jordan, before we wrap up here, we have one name, one game. What are you playing now?
I mentioned BallXPit. I've been
Yeah.
playing a lot of BallXPit when I'm playing by myself.
Nice.
That sounds weird, but you know.
Just playing my ball pit by myself. I am playing right now. Like I'm just playing Donkey Kong Bananza and not that Stardew Valley. So that's the ball pit I'm playing in. Well, thank you all for listening in. But thank you, Jordan, for joining me for this podcast and for this episode and for kind of talking through Oracle of Melees. I'll include also a link to the Steam page. You can go and buy Oracle Melees right now. Play it on Steam. But Jordan, besides Steam, where else are you out on the internet?
You can find me on X or Twitter. I'm at Real Jarnod. I don't tweet a lot, and I'll probably offend people, but that's what Twitter's for.
That's what Twitter is for now. Is what we do. Well, Jordan, thank you for joining me. Thank you all for listening in. You can follow us on the major podcasting services or on YouTube. You can press all the good buttons. If you enjoy this conversation, you can also find us on the proper socials at Quick Play Pod and let us know. I didn't have a question ready yet because I didn't know what the question would be, but I would like to know what's something you made of that you're proud of. I've been making this podcast. I'm proud of it. Jordan made a game. He's proud of that. What are you proud of that you made? But that's all the time we have for today. Thanks.